Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Hitaye Sarvavidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Shankaram Lokashankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Sadguru Charanarvindabhyan Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. In the last class, we have seen shloka number 121. Gurumurtihi Gunanidhihi Gomata Guhajanmabhuhu. Ayat. Now we have to see from shloka number 122. Deveshi Dandanitastha Daharakasha Rupini Pratipanmukya Rakanta Tithimandala Pujita. Deveshi Devaha Ishi. Ishi, the controller, the overruler. அதுக்கு பேர் தான் ஈஸ்வரன்னு பேர். நம்ம ஈஸ்வரன்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? ஈஸ்வரன்னா என்ன? That which controls everybody. He is called as Ishvara. So Deva Isha அப்படின்னா தேவர்களை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணுபவள். That Ambal, she controls all the devatas. You know, Veda says Bhishasmat vatah pavate Bhishodeti suryaha. Veda says the sun rises because he is worried about Ambal, because of his fear towards Ambal. Says Vedas, Bhishasmad vatah pavate Bhishodeti suryaha. So everything in this universe is controlled by, it is regulated by Ambal. That is why she is called as Deveshi. There is also another meaning for Devas. In Upanishad Bhashyam, if we take in Upanishad Bhashyam of Adi Shankaracharya, wherever the word Deva comes, in many places, Acharya writes Bhashyam, writes commentary for the word Deva as our sense organs. Indriyangal, Jnanendriyangal, Karmendriyangal. Jnanendriya, organs of sense organs and organs of actions. Abdina Acharya writes his Bhashyam. Devaha Abdina sense organs. He writes that in his Bhashyam. Deva Ishi, according to Shastra, each of our faculty is controlled by Ambal. Prajanane is controlled by one Devata. Rudram Lagunyasam solrapave kuda Prajanane Brahma tishtatu Padayor Vishnustishtatu Hastayor Harastishtatu Bahor Indrastishtatu Hridaye and the Mare over organ perum solli. In that organ, this person is the controlling Devata, and let that Devata do good for me. Meaning what? I have to have that Devata's Purna Phalan in order to use that organ properly. So that is the inner meaning of doing all the Mahanyasam and Lagunyasam, etc. And Ambal, she is the Deva Ishi, Deva Indriyas, Deva Ishi. Ambal, through the form of those Devatas, she controls our organs. Deveshi. Dandanitasta. Dandaniti means penal code. You know, that code which says, okay, these things are right, these things are wrong. If somebody does something wrong, then this is the punishment that has to be given for them. That type of books are called as Dandaniti Pustakams. Indian Penal Code. Indian Penal Code will say, okay, according to section this thing is wrong. And if somebody has committed this murder or perjury, then this has to be the punishment. So that is called as Dandaniti. Ambal is Dandanitistha. Ambal is present in that Dandaniti, and she gives punishments for those people who commit mistakes. Okay. If Ambal is Karunamurti, how can Ambal punish others? It is a very valid question. We all will have. Okay, Ambal is Karunamurti அப்படிங்கிறேன். How can Karunamurti punish other people? Because she is Karunamurti, she punishes the wrongdoers. There is a fire, and then I keep my fingers on the fire. The fire is going to burn me. Can we say to fire, hey fire, you have so many uses. How can you be such short-minded that when I touch you, you burn me? We cannot ask fire, because fire is burning you not as a punishment, but fire is burning you as a warning. If you keep on keeping your finger on that fire, then the whole finger will be destroyed. So in order not to get your whole finger destroyed, when you touch the fire, there is an instant response that, there is a sharp pain, there is a sharp burning sensation. Because of that, you take your hands off. If the fire is very, very cold to touch, you keep on keeping your finger onto the fire. The fire does not give you any burning sensation. But after some time, the whole finger will be burnt. Will that be good for you? No, right? The initial response, the burning sensation of the fire is because if you keep your finger in fire for so long, your finger is going to be permanently damaged. So in order to prevent a permanent damage, a temporary pain is being given. In the same way, if we keep on doing wrong things, it is going to permanently damage our Sukshma Sharira. We have Papam and Punyam. We are going to have accumulate more and more and more and more of Papam that is going to do us a relatively more permanent damage. Then you have to take a lot of birth in order to decrease, in order to, in order to compensate for all the Papas, so that you can go to Ambat. So in order to prevent all those things, in order to prevent a permanent damage, Ambal will give some temporary, paining sensation, some temporary burning sensation in the form of punishment, in the form of fear for punishment. So we don't have to actually undergo all the punishment. Just the fear of punishment is itself is enough for us not to do any wrong things. That is why we don't, or traffic offense, red light, you don't go past the red light, because you are fearing that, okay, there is a policeman and then he is going to find me, and then it is going to be a permanent record in my license, in my driver's license. So because of the fear of punishment, we don't commit any wrong thing. We don't actually have to undergo the punishment. Just the fear alone is enough. In the same way, Ambal as Dandanithastha, as the one who is established in Dandanithi, in the penal code, she prevents us from doing many wrong things. Deveshi Dandanithastha. So Ambal, Varahi Ambal is called as Dandanatha. Lalita Parameshwari, she is the Maharagi, and then there is Mantrini, there is Dandini Devata. தண்டினிங்கிறது தான் வாராகி அப்படிங்கிறோம். அந்த வாராகிக்கு பேரு என்ன? தண்டினி, தண்டநாதா அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். she heads the portfolio of giving out the punishments for the people. Just because they give us punishment does not mean they hate us. They give us punishment because they love us. We have to understand that very, very carefully. நம்ம எல்லாம் சொல்லுவோம், ஏதோ ஒரு கஷ்டம் வந்துருச்சுன்னா, நான் என்ன பாவம் பண்ணேனோ அம்பாள் என்ன போட்டு படுத்துறா. We should never say that. Ambal is not punishing you out of any hate. Okay, you have done this much papam, so I have to punish you. She never does that. We have to we have to undergo certain situations so that the papam is being removed. So Shastra says, whenever you enjoy lot of pleasure, your punyam goes away. According to Shastra. இது கேட்டாலே ரொம்ப பயமா இருக்கும். Whenever we enjoy pleasures, the punyam goes away. Whenever we undergo hardships in our life, then the papam goes away, says Shastra. So all the hardships, they all are for papakshayartham. So let us thank Ambal for those things. Deveshi Dandanitasta. Next nama Daharakasha Rupini. Beautiful nama. It has got lot of Vedantic interpretation. Where do you obtain Ambal? Where do you worship Ambal? Where do you worship Bhagavan? It's a $1 million question. For some people, they have to go to a temple in order to get to that spiritual mood. Only if I go to that place, I can feel the presence of Swami. I can feel the presence of Amba. So for many people, it is going to be a temple or a matha. For others, it is going to be the Swami room in their own house. The altar in their own house. If I go sit in that room, I can connect to the divinity. For other people. For some people, it does not have to be a place. It can be a lingam or it can be a photo. The photo can be very, very small, a passport size photo, which they keep in their wallet. And then, okay, whenever I see that photo and pray, I get, my mind becomes very, very calm for some people. All these things are, Shastra says, is of a lower category. Worshipping Bhagavan in an external place. The external place, it could be a river, it could be a tree, it could be a matha, it could be a temple, etc. Or it could be my own house altar, or it could be a Shivalinga, or it could be a Sri Chakra. All these things are Bahya. Bahya means external worships. For those people who are spiritually mature, I'm not talking about maturity in terms of age. I'm talking about spiritual maturity. For those people who are spiritually mature, Shastra says they can obtain Bhagavan in their own heart, Shastra says. And the heart ku peru dhaan Daharakasham nu peru. Akasha means space. There are two types of Akasha. Mahakasha and Daharakasha. Mahakasha is the space outside us. The space outside us is called as Maha-Akasha because it is very, very big. The space inside our heart is called as Dahara-Akasha. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayan Nihitosya Janto Tamakratum Pashyati Vita Shoko Dhatu Prasadaan Mahimanamisham. Says Mahanarayana Upanishad in the Taitriya Shakha. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayan Nihitosya Janto. The entity, the Atma, the Paramatma, which is smaller than the smallest. Anoho Aniyan. Anu means atom, the smallest thing. Anoho Aniyan, the smaller than the smallest. Mahato Mahiyan. Mahataha means big. This entire universe. Mahato Mahiyan, bigger than the biggest. The smaller than the smallest and the bigger than the biggest. It has to be obtained in where? Guhayan nihitosya jantoho atma guhayan nihitosya jantoho. That Swami, that Paramatma has to be obtained within your Atma. Even though the Paramatma is present everywhere, even though electricity is present everywhere, we cannot tap that electricity in all the wire. We can only tap that electricity safely in a plug point. Even though Wi-Fi signal is everywhere, we cannot perceive the Wi-Fi signal that is floating around me. I need a computer in order to obtain that Wi-Fi signal. Even though 4G signal or 5G signal is present everywhere, I need to have a valid SIM card in order to obtain, in order to transact with that 4G signal or 5G signal, right? In the same way, Atma is everywhere. Paramatma is everywhere. It is Sarvagataha, in where the space is present inside Paramatma. But in order for transacting with the Paramatma, I obtain that Paramatma in my own heart. Just like how I obtain the ever omnipresent Wi-Fi inside my computer. I obtain omnipresent 3G signal inside my cell phone. I transact with the omnipresent Paramatma in my heart. Malarmisai ஏகினான் மானடி சேர்ந்தார்க்கு நிலைமிசை நீடு வாழ்வார், says Thiruvalluvar. Malarmisai ஏகினான், where is he present? In my heart, in my the Akasha. If I say Hridaya Akasha, don't dissect a human body and look for an empty space. That is, it is all metaphorical. Inside our heart, you have to imagine a space, and in that space, Paramatma is present. That is called as Dahara Akasha. In fact, this Vidya, what is this Vidya? This knowledge of obtaining Paramatma inside your own heart is called as Dahara Vidya. The Dahara Vidya comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, the Mahanarayana Upanishad, and in Chandogya Upanishad as well. Lot of famous mantras also comes in this Taittiriya Upanishad. In this Mahanarayana Upanishad, Dahara Vidya Bhaga. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayan Nihitosya Jantoho Tamakratum Pashyati Vita Shoko Dhatu Prasadaan Mahimanamisham. Tam Akratum Pashyati Vita Shokaha Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Isham. You have to look. You have Tam Akratum Pashyati. Pashyatina literally means to look. Here it does not mean to look with your own eyes, but you have to obtain that Paramatma because of his blessings. Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Isham. The person who does that, Vita Shokaha, he will be without any Shoka. Saptah Prana Prabhavanti Tasmaat Saptartishas Samidhas Sapta Jihvaha Sapta ime lokayeshu charanti prana guhashayan nihita sapta sapta atas samudra girayascha sarve smat syamdante sindhavas sarvarupaha atascha vishwa oshadhayo rasa acha yenaisha bhutas tishtas yenesha bhutas tishtatyantaratma Brahma Devana Padavi Kavinam Rishir Viprana Mahisho Mrigana Sheno Gridhrana Gashwadhitirvana Nagum Somah Pavitra Matye Tirebhanne. And then the famous mantra called as Hamsa mantra also comes in this portion of Dahara Vidya and Mahanarayana Upanishad. Agum Sasuchishad Vasurantariksha Sadhota Vedishatatithirturo Nasat Nrishadva Rasadridasadvyo Masadabja Goja Ritaja Adrija Ritam Brihat. You know, all these beautiful mantras comes in Dahara Vidya. So Ambal is Dahara Akasha Rupini. In fact, this Dahara Akasha is also called as Chidakasha or Chid Ambaram. Ambaram means space. Chid Ambaram, the space that you obtained in your Chit, in the Chidakasha is called as Chidambaram. That is why in Chidambaram, there is a Chidambara Rahasyam, where you don't see anything, right? In fact, the Chidambara Rahasyam, it is Shri Chakra worship, says Mahapariva. The Chidambara worship, the Chidambara Rahasyam is nothing but worshipping of many chakras, including Shri Chakram. So Chidambara is a very great Shri Vidya Kshetram because Ambal is Dahara Kasha Rupini. Before going, I don't want to go into so much details. Let us move to the next Nama. Pratipan Mukhya Rakanta Tithi Mandala Pujita. Pratipan Mukhya Raka Anta Tithi Mandala Pujita. Pratipat means Prathamai. நம்ம சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, பிரதமை, பிரதமா, த்விதீயா, திருத்தீயா அப்படின்னு திதிகள் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, அதுல வந்து பிரதமை தான் பிரதிபத்துன்னு பேரு. Raka means Paurnami. So Pratipatu means Prathama. Raka means Paurnami. Raka Chandra Samana Kanti. Abdina Ambalike or Shlokam undu. Raka Chandra Mukhi. Abdina or Dikshidar Kritiye undu. Raka means Paurnami, the full moon day. Pratipan Mukhya Rakanta, from Prathama to Paurnami. Pratipan Mukhya. Mukhya means from Prathama, Pratipatu, Raka Anta, ending with Paurnami. Tithi Mandala Pujita. Ambal is worshipped as Tithi Nitya Devis. In Sri Vidya Upasana, Ambal, you have in Sri Chakra, you have Bindu. Bindu is the central circle. And surrounding Bindu, there is going to be a downward facing triangle. And in that downward facing triangle, 15 devatas are to be worshipped. Those 15 devatas are Kameshwari, Bhagamalini, Nityaklinna, Bherunda, Vannivasini, Vajreshwari, Shivaduti, Tvarita, Kulasundari, Nitya, Neelapadaka, Vijaya, Sarvamangala, Jwalamalini, Chitra. So those who chant Khadgamala Stotra, they will understand these names. These names will come. Kameshwari, Bhagamalini, Nityaklinne, Bherunde, Vannivasini, Mahavajreshwari, Shivaduti, Tvarite, Kulasundari, Nitye, Neelapadake, Vijaye, Sarvamangale, Jwalamalini, Chitre, அதோட நிறுத்திப்பா. அப்ப அந்த மகாநித்யா அப்படிங்கிறது, she is the 16th devata, she is Swayam Ambal herself present in the Bindu. So these 15 are called as Tithi Mandala, are called as Tithi Nitya devatas. These 15 devatas are called as Tithi Nitya devatas, and Ambal is present in all these 16. Ambal is present as these 15 devatas. That is why Pratipan Mukhya Rakanta Tithi Mandala Pujita. In each devata, the first devata, Pratipat, Ambal has to be worshipped as Kameshwari. Dvitiya, Ambal has to be worshipped as Bhagamalini. Tritiya, Ambal has to be worshipped as Nityaklina. Chaturthi, Ambal has to be worshipped as Berunda. All these Tithi, those who do Sri Chakra Puja, they will do Tithi Nitya Yajanam Abdina, they will chant the mantras, they will do Tarpanam for these Tithi Nitya Devatas. So, Pratipan Mukhya Rakanta Tithi Mandala Pujita. So, in fact, as an aside note, Navaratri we only celebrate for 9 days, right? Shastra says it has to be celebrated for 15 days. Some of the Sishtas, they even keep the Golu for all 15 days. But those who are in Sri Vidya Upasana, they will actually worship Ambal on all the 15 days. There are prescribed method as to which deity has to be worshipped. Kadgamalaaliye vandu Swahantama, Namontama, Tarpayamyantama, Abdibdinla, there are several variations are there, which has to be known from a Sadguru. So, Pratipan Mukhya Rakanta Tithi Mandala Pujita. Going on to the next nama, Kalatmika Kalanata Kavyalapa Vinodini Sachamara Ramavani Savyadakshina Sevita. Kalatmika. Kala means part. Kala means part. The Tithi Nitya we saw, right? So from Amavasya to Paurnami, Shastra says one part of moon is being added. If whole moon is divided into 16 parts, Amavasya you don't see anything, so no part. Pratama, there is only one part of Chandra which we cannot see, 1/16th of Chandra which we cannot see with your eyes. Dvitiya, 2/16th. So another 1/16th of Chandra gets added, which we cannot see. But we can see from Tritiya, 3/16th of Chandra. Chaturthi, 4/16th of Chandra. Panchami, 5/16th of Chandra. So each day, one kalai, one part gets added to the Chandra. Ambal is in the form of all these parts, says Shastra. And so all these parts, so in the same way, so Chandran has got 16 parts. Agni has got 10 parts. So sun has got 12 parts. All these things are said in Shastra, and Ambal is present in all these parts. Ambal is called as Kalatmika. And Ambal, she is in the present of all the art form. Kalai also means art. Kalai arasi, art form. Ambal is present in the form of 64 kalais. Aya kalaiகள் 64 அப்படிங்கிறோம் இல்லையா? சமைக்கிறதுல இருந்து how to cook, how to speak, how to manage others, all these are one of the 64 art forms. So Kalatmika. Next nama Kalanatha. She is not only in the form of all the art, but she is the master. She is the she is that central deity to which all the art forms are directed towards. Kalanatha. That is why we say, okay, if you have any art form, you have to surrender that to Ambal. If I'm good at singing, then sing Ambal's glory. If I'm good at writing shlokas, if I'm good at writing text, then write about Ambal. If I'm good at drawing, instead of drawing all these modern art, வரையறவாளுக்கும் புரியாது, பார்க்கறவாளுக்கும் புரியாது, okay, draw Ambal Swarupam. What is wrong in that? If I'm good at cooking, then cook nice food and then do Nevedyam of Ambal, because she is the Kalanatha. She is the master of all the arts. She is the master of all the artists. So Kalatmika, Kalanatha. Next nama also says that Kavya Alapa Vinodini. She becomes so happy with all the kavyas. What are kavyas? That Itihasam, Puranam, all these things are called as kavyas. Kavi na the author. Kaviyala செய்யப்பட்டவைகள்லாம் காவியங்கள் அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். Ambal is Kavya Alapa Vinodini. That is why in the same Patasala, in the Veda Patasala, they will teach Vedas, okay, but they will also teach Kavyas, Kiratarjunyam, Kalidasanoda Kavyangal, Megadutam, all these things they will teach in the Patasala. At that age, the student will not even understand. Because some kavya, there will be all the navarasas will be present in the kavyas. At that age, student will not even understand what is that, but they will be taught all these things because Ambal is Kavya Alapa Vinodini. Not only she enjoys listening to all the kavyas, but she also blesses her devotees to make all the kavyas. Acharya says in Saundaralahari, Savitri Bhirvacham Shashimanishila Bhangaruchibihi Vashinyatyabhistva Sahajanani Sanchintayatiyaha Sakarta Kavyanam Bhavati Mahatam Bhangiruchibihi Vacho Bhirvagdevi Vadana Kamala Moda Maduraihi. Says Acharya and Saundaralahari, if you worship Ambal in a certain form, then that devotee will be capable of writing all the Mahakavyas. That is how Kalidasa came. Kalidasanuku equivalenta, there is no other second author in any language, and Kalidasa got his power because of Ambal's blessings. So Kavya Alapa Vinodini. Next nama Sachamara Ramavani Savya Dakshina Sevita. Rama means Mahalakshmi. Ramaya Ramamanaya. English shlokathila padikkanom illaya. Rama means Mahalakshmi. Vani means Saraswati. Rama Vani. Mahalakshmi and Saraswati. Savya Dakshina Sevita. Left hand side, right hand side. Mahalakshmi is present in the left hand side of Ambal. Vani Saraswati is present in the right hand side of the Ambal. Doing what? Sachamara. They all have a chamara in their hands. Chamara means, and the call it the fan and those, the hand fan in those days made out of, special material is called as chamara. So Sachamara Ramavani Savya Dakshina Sevita. Mahalakshmi and Saraswati are present on the two sides of Ambal. They are doing Chamara Seva to Ambal. Lagna Chamara Hastashri Sarada Parivijitaye Namaha. There is a nama in Lalita Trishati. Just like how we have Lalitha Sahasranamam. Lalitha Sahasranamam is 1000 names of Ambal. Lalita Trishati is 300 names of Ambal. In fact, Lalita Trishati is a mantra shastra. Every nama begins with one akshara of Ambal's Mula mantra. Adi Shankaracharya has written a separate Bhashyam for Lalita Trishati. He did not write a Bhashyam for Lalita Sahasranama, but he wrote a Bhashyam for Lalita Trishati. That much, on high pedestal, Lalita Trishati is being kept. In Lalita Trishati, the Nama comes Lagna Chamara Hasta Shri Sharada, Shri Mahalakshmi, Sharada Parameshwari, Saraswati. Lagna Chamara Hasta Shri Sarada Parivijitaye Namaha, Sachamara Ramavani, Savyadakshina Sevitaye Namaha. That is why even today, if you go to Kanchi Kamakshi Ambal temple, as I said before, Lalita Parameshwari is nothing but Kamakshi Ambal in Kanchipuram. Because in Saundarya whatever the Varnana that Acharya gives in Saundarya Ambal is present only in Kanchipuram. Whatever the Varnana that Lalitha Sahasranamam gives, Ambal is present in Kanchipuram. Chaturbahu Samanvita, Ragaswarupa Pashadya, Krodhakarankushojvala, Manorupekshu Kodanda, Panjatan Matra Sayaka. Ambal should be seated. Ambal should have 4 hands, and in those 4 hands, these things should be there. Says Lalita Sahasranama, not only in the Dhyana Shloka, but also in the Sahasranama itself, and only in Kanchipuram, Kamakshi Ambal is like that. Now, maybe other temples would have come, but Prachinama, Kanchipurathla irukra Kamakshi Ambal da Lalita Parameshwari. So, in Kanchipuram, if you see the Utsavar deity, when the Utsavar deity comes out, there will not be only one Kamakshi, there is going to be 3 Devis. When the Utsavar Kamakshi comes out, for Panguni Uttaram festival or for Navaratri festival, you can see there are a lot of pictures. Kamakshi Ambal alone will never come. She will always be flanked by Mahalakshmi and Saraswati. There will be 2 Devis. Normally, people don't know what is this Devi, what is that Devi. Now we all know Sachamara Ramavani Savyadakshina Sevitaye Namaha. Next shloka, shloka number 124. Adi Shakti Ameya Atma Parama Pavana Kritihi Aneka Koti Brahmanda Janani Divya Vigraha. Adi Shakti Rameya Atma Parama Pavana Kritihi Aneka Koti Brahmanda Janani Divya Vigraha. Adi Shakti. Ambal is the primordial Shakti. Whatever the power that we have, whatever the energy that we have, all these energies will have a cost according to science, even according to science, because law of conservation of energy says energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. One form of energy is converted to another form of energy. If I have electric bulb, electric energy gets converted to heat energy and light energy. If I have fan, electric energy is converted to mechanical energy. If I have nuclear power plant, nuclear energy gets converted to heat energy. That heat energy then converted to mechanical energy. That mechanical energy gets converted to electrical energy. So all the energy forms in this universe that we see, they all have a cost, right? So we cannot say any energy as Adi Shakti. Adi means primordial or original. Even nuclear energy, we cannot say it is the original energy. That energy has got cost somewhere. If you ask science, okay, what is the source of all the energy? Science will say, and the question if you ask me to estimate how much energy is present in this universe, I can come up with a number. And I can also tell that this energy is going to stay constant. This energy is not going to be lost. New energy is not going to get added. That much I know. But please do not ask me what is the source of all this energy. I can only say in a battery, source of electrical energy is chemical energy. In a fan, source of mechanical energy is electrical energy. In a nuclear power plant, the source of electrical energy is nuclear energy. Only that I can say. I cannot tell you, please don't ask me what is the original energy source. Shastra says Ambal is the original energy source. Adi Shakti Ameya. So this Ameyatma, it has to be split. Ameya is one nama, Atma is one nama. Ameya, Ameya, unmeasurable. measurement. Mana means measurement. Adanalதான் தமிழ்ல வெப்பமானி அப்படிம்போம். The thermometer is called as வெப்பமானி in Tamil because வெப்பம் is temperature. Mana means to measure. Veppamani to measure the temperature. So ma to measure. Ameya, that which cannot be measured, is called as ameya. This is another problem with the modern attitude, the so-called scientific attitude that we have. We want to measure everything. What is the universe? What is the limits of the universe? Okay, what is the limit of this energy? How much big is that? How much big is the market? We always want to put a number on things. We have been trained so that we always want to put a number on things. But even science, it does not say what is the size of universe. Science says, okay, I don't know the size of the universe. At least science is honest enough to say, I don't know what is the size of universe, but I can only tell what is the visual, what is the size of observable universe. Observable universe size I can tell, but I cannot tell you what is the original size of the universe. Okay, how much energy the universe has. Okay, now science says, okay, we only know about 5% of the matter. We only know about 500. If 100 things are there, with all these advancements in science, we only know about 5% of things. Remaining 95%, we don't know. That is why we call them as dark matter, dark energy. We know that something exists, but we don't know what that is because it does not interact with anybody, anything else. So science will say, even this we cannot measure completely. What I want to say is, with so-called advancements in science, even now we don't know what is 100% of this universe. We don't know the limits. We don't know the composition. We don't know a lot of these things. But there will be a time where science will say, okay, we now know about dark matter, but now on the process of knowing about dark matter, we found that there is some other thing that exists that which we don't know. So this is a nice analogy that people give in Western philosophy, or in scientific parlance. We give this analogy. You assume a circle. There is a circle, and the area of the circle is all the things that we currently know. The area of the circle is all the things that we currently know. The circumference of the circle is obviously what we don't know, right? If the area is what we know, the boundary, the circumference of the circle is what we currently don't know. What happens is that it is called a circle of knowledge. What happens is that as time progresses, as science progresses, the circle gets bigger and bigger. How? Because we know about a lot of things. In 1990, we don't know about quantum mechanics. In 2000, we know about quantum mechanics. So the circle gets bigger. The area of the circle is what we currently know. But in the process of knowing a lot of things, what is the byproduct? The byproduct is that the circumference also gets bigger. So the circumference is that which we don't know. Inside the circle is what we know currently. In the process of making the circle bigger, okay, we acquire a lot of knowledge, the circle gets bigger, but the circumference of the circle also gets bigger. We come to know that we don't know a lot of things. This is called as circle of knowledge. It is a very interesting concept in modern science. So science accepts that, but Shastra already has said Ambal is Ameyatma. How much ever powerful you have a telescope, how much ever powerful microscope you have, you cannot measure the limits of Ambal. Pado osya vishwa bhutani tripadasya divi tripadurda udait purushaha Pado osyeha bhavat punaha, says Purusha Suktam. Padaha asya vishwa bhutani tripadasyaha Amritam Divi. Only 25% of Bhagavan is what you see as this entire universe. Remaining 75% you will never know, says Vedas. Here also Shastra says, Lalita Sahasranamam says, Ameya, that which can never be measured, that which can never be 100% understood. Ameya Atma. So Ameya Atma is not one nama. Ameya is one nama. Atma is another nama. Atma, because the next nama is Parama. Here they say this Atma has to be taken as the Jivatma, because Atma is I, right? Normally we say Atma is I. Atma, I am. That Jivatma who enjoys the three bodies. What are the three bodies? People who are in Vedanta, they will know. The Sthula Sharira, the Sukshma Sharira, the Karana Sharira, three bodies, which undergoes the three avasthas, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti avasthas. That person is Atma. So Aham Brahmasmi அப்படிங்கிறதுல அகம்னா யாரு, அந்த தொம்பத லட்சியார்த்தம் தான் இந்த இடத்துல ஆத்மாங்கிறது. The Ambal, the same Ambal is present in Jiva as Jivatma. So Adi Shakti Ame Atma Parama. The same Ambal is present as Paramatma as well. The same Paramatma who the same Paramatma is present inside your body as Jivatma. So these two namas, they talk about the Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Adi Shakti Ame Atma Parama. So Atma is Jivatma, Parama is Paramatma. Ambal is present in as both Jivatma and Paramatma. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha says Vedanta. That is what here the Namas also says. Ambal is present as Paramatma. Ambal is present as Jivatma as well. Okay, I understand. If I want to, okay, I get you. But if I want to understand Aham Brahmasmi, if I want to understand Tattvamasi, what do you need? Shastra says you need to have Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta mind, Shuddhi purity. Chitta Shuddhi, you need to have purity of mind, right? So Ambal, she herself being Jivatma and Paramatma, in order for us to understand that, it is the Ambal who gives the Chitta Shuddhi as well. That is what the next Nama says. Pavana Kritihi. Pavana, Pavamanam, Pavanam, abdina pure, abdinartham. Pavana Kritihi. Ambal, she purifies our mind as well. Everything, if it is related to Ambal, it is going to be pure. Putaha, pure. Pavana, pure. If I worship Ambal with my hand becomes pure. Ayam me hasto Bhagavan, ayam me Bhagavattaraha, ayam me Vishwabhe Sajoshagum Shivabhimarshanaha, says Rudra. Those who worship, those who do Abhisheka for Parameshwara with their hand. Ayam me hasto Bhagavan. So this hand is Bhagavan. Ayam me Bhagavattaraha. This hand is even higher than Bhagavan. Why? Ayam me Vishwabhe Sajoshagum Shivabhimarshanaha. Shivaha Abhimarshanaha. Because I do puja to Parameshwara, this hand literally is close to that lingam as much as possible. So this hand becomes Parameshwara itself, says Sri Rudram. So whenever we worship Ambal with our mind, the mind gets pure. When we worship Ambal with our speech, the speech gets pure. When we worship Ambal with our body, the body gets pure. So that is why Ambal is called as Pavana Kritihi. Pavana means to purify. Pavana Kritihi, Ambal purifies everything. Next Nama, Aneka Koti Brahmanda Janani. And Janani. Janani means mother. Brahmanda Janani. She is the mother of this universe. Brahmandam means not only the earth, not only the solar system, not only the Milky Way galaxy, the whole universe is called as Brahmandam. Aneka Koti Brahmanda. How many universes are there? Not only one universe, Aneka Koti. Koti means crore. Eka Koti means 1 crore. Aneka Koti means many crores. Crores and crores of universes are there, says Shastra. For science to come up with the idea that, okay, there could be life beyond this earth, it took us so many years. Only after so many years, they say, okay, life is possible other than the earth. Okay, life is possible outside the solar system. There are many things apart from the earth. And now science talks about multiverse. And multiverse and many universe. The universe is the entire thing. Not only this solar system or galaxy, but the universe comprises of lots of galaxies. For many time, I mean, even for now, nobody has proven that there are many universes. People always, they hypothesize, they theorize that, okay, there can be many universes. Big Bang could have led to multiple universes. They call that as multiverse theory. There are infinite number of universes, says science right now. But when is Lalitha Sahasranamam written? We don't even know when was it written. There it says Aneka Koti Brahmanda Janani. Okay, how much ever universe you want, you take, I don't care. But Ambal is the Janani. Ambal is the mother for all of these universes. Aneka Koti Brahmanda Janani. Divya Vigraha. Vigraha, this nama has got a lot of meaning. We will take the simplest meaning possible. Vigraha's Murti, yes, Sthula Swarupa. Ambal's Sthula Swarupam is so much nice. Sindhuraruna Vigraham, Trinayanam, Manikya Maulis Purat, Taranayaka Shekaram, Smitamukim, Apina Vakshoruham, Panibhyam, Alipurna Ratna Chashakam, Raktotphalam Vibratim, Saumyam, Ratna Gatastarakta Charanam, Vyayet Paramambikam, Chaturbahu Samanbita, Ragaswarupa Pashadya, Krodakaram Kushojwala, Manorupekshu Kodanda, Panchatan Matrasayaka, Nijaruna Prabhapura Majjad Brahmanda Mandala, Champaka Shoka Punnaka, Saugandikala Satkacha, Kuruvinda Manishrini, Kanatkoti Ramandita, Ashtami Chandra Vibraj, Dalika Sthala Shobita, Mukachandra Kalangaba, Mridana Bivisheshaka, Vadanasmaramangalya, Gravatorana Chillika, Vaktralakshmi Parivaha, Chalanmi Nabalochana, Navachampaka Pushpapa, Nasadanda Virajita, Tarakanti Tiraskari, Nasa Baranabasura, Kadamba Manjari Klipta Karnapura Manohara, Tadanka Yuguli Bhuta, Tapanodupamandala, Padmaraga Shiladarsha, Paribhavi Kapola Buhu, Navavidruma Bimbashri, Nekari Radanachada Angenda Aramchu. கடைசி வரைக்கும் அம்பாளுடைய ஸ்வரூப வர்ணனை பண்றாளே, just all we have to do is just close our eyes and then enjoy. It can be a physical vigraha in front of you. You go to Kanchipuram, you sit in front of Kanchi Kamakshi, and then you open your eyes and enjoy that. Or you can sit wherever you are, just to close your eyes and then follow the follow the description of Ambal Swarupam that is said in Lalitha Sahasranamam. Both will give us lot of happiness, lot of pleasure, lot of peace in our mind, because Ambal is Divya Vigraha, have beautiful Akriti. Next nama, next shloka, Klinkari, Kevala, Guhya, Kaivalya Padadayini, Tripura, Trijagadvandya, Trimurtihi, Tridaseshri, Klinkari. This is one of the main mantras of Ambal. Ambal has got lots of mantras. Panchadasakshari. It has got 15-lettered mantras. There is a Trekshari. There are 3-lettered Ambal's mantra. Aim, Klim, Sauhu. அப்படின்னு அந்த மந்திரத்துக்கு பேரு. அந்த மந்திரத்துல நடுநாயகமா இருக்கிறது கிளீம் அப்படிங்கிற மந்திரம் நடுநாயகமா இருக்கு. அந்த கிளீம்ங்கிறதுக்கு பேரு காமராஜ பீஜம் அப்படின்னு பேர். The mantra Kleem is called as Kamaraja Bijam. Incidentally, the same bija, it is also applied for Sri Krishna. Today is Ekadashi. Today is also Shravana Nakshatra. Ekadashi itself is special. Shravana Nakshatra itself is special. In order to do Vishnu Dhyanam on Shravana Ekadasi, it is even more special. So, in the Kleem, abdingaradhu, கிருஷ்ணனுக்கும் இந்த மந்திரத்தை குறிக்கும். இந்த க்ளீம்ங்கிற மந்திரம் அம்பாளுக்கும் வரும், கிருஷ்ணருக்கும் வரும். ஸோ இந்த க்ளீம் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு பேர் காமராஜ பீஜம் அப்படின்னு பேரு. இட் கன்சிஸ்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் க, ல and E. So we don't want to go into so much detailed about this Klinkara mantra, but know that this mantra is called as Kamaraja Bijam. There is a stotra called as Panchastavi. Muka Panchashati irukku. Adu that is on Kanchi Kamakshi Ambal. This has got 500 shlokas. There are 5 shatakams. There is another stotra called as Panchastavi. Stava, 5 stavas. So this text is very famous in Kashmir. In Kashmir, Sharadamba, in the Panchastavingiradhu romba romba famous. அதுல அம்பாளுடைய மந்திரங்களை அப்படியே வர்ணிச்சுட்டு வரார் அந்த ஆச்சாரியர். We don't know who wrote this 5 stavas. They say Durvasa wrote all these 5 stavas, but we don't know. In that, it is said about this Kamaraja Bijam, Yannityetava Kamarajamaparam Mantraksharam Nishkalam Tatsarasvata Mitya Vaiti Viralaha Kaschid Budhaschid Bhuvi Akhyanam Pratiparva Satya Tapasaha Yat Kirtayanto Dvijaha Prarambhe Pranavaspada Pranayitam Nitvocharanti Sphutam. It actually refers to a story from Devi Bhagavata Purana. Devi Bhagavata is one of the Mahapurana, and in Devi Bhagavata Purana, there is a story of Sudarshana comes. It is not the Sudarshana Chakra, but Sudarshana was a king. Apparently, a king was there. This king was called as Dhruva. He was the ruler of Ayodhya. You know, he was the ancestor of Sri Rama, and this king was there. He has got 2 wives. I don't want to confuse with the names of the wives and Manorama, Leelavati lam peru vendam. He has got 2 wives, and the king unfortunately died. And these 2 wives, they had one children each, one child each. Sudarshana, Shatrujit, these are the names of the 2 child. And because the king died, now somebody has to lead the kingdom, right? This Sudarshana was the elder son. So he wanted to lead. He was also a child, but he is the elder son. So everybody said, okay, this Sudarshana is the, naturally, since he is the elder son, he has to be made the king. But the grandfather of the other grandchildren, Shatrujit, he actually fought with the grandfather of Sudarshana. And the wife oda appa rendu perukkum sanda pottukra. The 2 father-in-laws, they are fighting against each other. And the Shatrujit's grandfather, he won. And then he planned to kill both the Manorama. Manorama is the first wife, mother of Sudarshana. Both the Manorama and Sudarshana, he planned to kill. So these people know, and all the elder mantris and all, they sent this Manorama and Sudarshana to a forest. And in the forest, they don't know, right? So they also got robbed. So they took a lot of money with them to the forest, but they got robbed on their way. And on their way, they saw a hermit of a rishi called as Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja Ashramatila, Ammavum Payyanum, they go, and then they are staying in the Bharadwaja Ashrama. Again, it is like a Padasala. There is going to be lots of kids playing, right? So other kids were making fun of Sudarshana as Kliba. Kliba means a Napumsaka. Napumsakana, an androgynous person. Napumsaka, androgynous person. It is the meaning of the word Kliba. The other kids, when we are playing, we'll just exchange abuses, right? So the other kids were telling Kliba, Kliba, Kliba. And the Sudarshana, for some reason, he was attracted to the word Kliba. So he dropped the ba, and then he kept on chanting Kli, 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 because it just, it is nice to say Kli, it is a nice sound it makes, right? ஸோ நமக்கே ஏதோ ஒரு வார்த்தை ஒரு சடனா ஒரு வார்த்தையோ ஒரு பாட்டோ நம்ம காதுல விழுந்ததுன்னா we just cannot resist but for to keep on singing that song, right? So the Sudarshana, he started chanting kli 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 kli. It does not have any meaning, but he started chanting kli kli kli, and Ambal thought that maybe he is chanting my mantra. What is Ambal's mantra? Clean is Ambal's mantra, right? Ambal thought that, okay, he's chanting my mantra because he is very, very young. He don't know how to pronounce. Instead of saying clean, he only say clean. That is why, so what? No problem. I will go and I will give him all the boons that he wants, thought Ambal. And even though he chanted the mantra wrongly, Ambal came in front of Sudarshana, and the story goes that, okay, Ambal gave him lot of weapons, and then he fought with the kingdom, and then he got his rightful kingdom back. அப்படின்னு தேவி மகாத்மியம் சொல்றது. அந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை பஞ்சஸ்தவில இங்க எடுத்து காமிக்கிறார். यन्नित्ये तव कामराजमपरं मन्त्राक्षरं निष्कलं तत्सारस्वतमित्यवैति विरलः कश्चिद्भुतश्चेद्भुवि आख्यानं प्रतिपर्वसत्यतपसः यत्कीर्तयन्तो द्विजाः प्रारम्भे प्रणवास्पद प्रणयिता नीत्वोच्चरन्ति स्फुटम्. So even for those people who have chanted your bija mantra wrongly, your Kamaraja bija, Kleem is called as Kamaraja bija, your Kamaraja bija wrongly, Ambal Saraswati gives lots of jnanam to them, says the shloka. That much potent the bija mantras are. Please don't think that, okay, it means I can start chanting the bija mantras wrongly. No, we cannot do that. This is just a story. This is just an arthavada to extol the importance of all the bijas. All the bijas, they have to be obtained from a proper guru. There has to be a proper initiation process, and then only they can be chanted. But Ambal is clean kari. She is in the form of the bija called as clean. Adoda, we will finish today's class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Doing Nama Sankirtanam on a Ekadasi day is very, 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 very auspicious. Today we have Bhagavadar Mama to teach us some more Namavalis, some more Nama Sankirtanam. So that is what is going to be happening next. So stay for the Nama Sankirtanam session, and then do Ekadashi Bhajana to get abundant blessings of Parameshwara and Mahaperiva and Narayana. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thanks a lot. Nama next class paakalam. Bye.
Thank you, Shamji.
Thank you so much.
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram.
நாம சங்கீர்த்தனம் ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். யாருக்கெல்லாம் அந்த மாமா கூட பாடணுமோ கொஞ்சம் நீங்க சாட் பாக்ஸ்ல நேம்ஸ் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம அந்த ஆர்டர்ல கூப்பிடலாம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சுமதி அவங்க இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. ஸோ சுமதி நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சாங் மாமா கூட ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் சாட் பாக்ஸ்ல நேம் சொல்ற ஆர்டர்ல நம்ம கூப்பிடுவோம். நம்ம ஸ்ரீ குருபியோ நமஹ. ராம் ராம்.
Ram Ram.
ஷாம், எனக்கு கோஹோஸ்ட் பர்மிஷன் கொடுக்குறீங்களா?
ஷியாம். ராம் ராம்.
Yeah. Sorry. Since there are like too many people coming and going out, I just cannot get hold of Chandravana. Sorry.
Namaskaram, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. So first Sumati அவங்க பண்ணிட்டோம். Then we have Nikhil, Ashwath and the order Chandru நம்ம நேம் கூப்பிடலாம். Ram Ram.
Start.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம்.
Okay. Ram Ram. பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியவா
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா கட்டா இருந்தது, சரியா கேட்கல.
ஒழுங்கா கேட்கல, ஆடியோ ஒழுங்கா கேட்கல. திருப்பி இப்ப கேக்குறது.
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உன்மேல் வைத்தேன்
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உன்மேல் வைத்தேன் என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உன்மேல் வைத்தேன்
எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே
எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே கொச்சை மொழியானாலும் கொச்சை மொழியானாலும்
உன்னை கொஞ்சி கொஞ்சி பாடிடுவேன்
உன்னை கொஞ்சி கொஞ்சி பாடிடுவேன் உன்னை கொஞ்சி கொஞ்சி பாடிடுவேன்
என் சட்டையெல்லாம் தீர்ந்ததப்பா
என் சர்ச்சையெல்லாம் தீர்ந்ததப்பா என் சர்ச்சையெல்லாம் தீர்ந்ததப்பா
எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவுதப்பா
எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவுதப்பா எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவுதப்பா.
Good time, sir.
எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவுதப்பா
வாகனனே
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனேவா
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உந்தன் மேல் வைத்தேன்
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உந்தன் மேல் வைத்தேன் என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உந்தன் மேல் வைத்தேன்
எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே
எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே
நெஞ்சமதில் கோவில் அமைத்தேன்
நெஞ்சமதில் கோவில் அமைத்தேன் நெஞ்சமதில் கோவில் அமைத்தேன்
நெஞ்சமதில் கோவில் அமைத்தேன்
நெஞ்சமதில் கோவில் அமைத்தேன் நெஞ்சமதில் கோவில் அமைத்தேன்
அதில் நேர்மை எனும் தீபம் வைத்தேன்
அதில் நேர்மை எனும் தீபம் வைத்தேன் அதில் நேர்மை எனும் தீபம் வைத்தேன்
உன் செஞ்சிலம்பு கொஞ்சிடவேவா
உன் செஞ்சிலம்பு கொஞ்சிடவேவா உன் செஞ்சிலம்பு கொஞ்சிடவே வா.
சேவல் கொடி மயில் வீரா
சேவல் கோடி மயில் வீரா, சேவல் கோடி மயில் வீரா,
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே, பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே,
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா,
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா, சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா.
இதையெல்லாம் உன்மேல் வைத்தேன்,
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உந்தன் மேல் வைத்தேன், என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உந்தன் மேல் வைத்தேன்.
எல்லாம் ஐயமில்லையே,
எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே, எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே. கேட்கதா?
அலைகடல் ஓரத்திலே,
அலைகடல் ஓரத்திலே, அலைகடல் ஓரத்திலே,
எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முகனே,
எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முகனே, எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முகனே,
எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முக.
கட்டா இருக்கு.
ஆமா கரெக்டா இருக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஒரு நிமிஷம். ஒன் செகண்ட். ஆடியோ போயிடுது. மியூட்ல இருக்கு. அன்மியூட் பண்ணும்.
அலைகடல் ஓரத்திலே,
அலைகடல் ஓரத்திலே, அலைகடல் ஓரத்திலே,
எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முகனே,
எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முகனே, எங்கள் அன்பார்ந்த சண்முகனே,
எனக்கலையா மனம் தந்தாய்,
எனக்கலையா மனம் தந்தாய், எனக்கலையா மனம் தந்தாய்.
உனக்கு அனந்த கோடி நமஸ்காரம்,
உனக்கு அனந்த கோடி நமஸ்காரம், உனக்கு அனந்த கோடி நமஸ்காரம்,
உனக்கு அனந்த கோடி நமஸ்காரம்,
உனக்கு அனந்த கோடி நமஸ்காரம், உனக்கு அனந்த கோடி நமஸ்காரம்.
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே,
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே, பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே,
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா,
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா, சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா.
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே,
பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே, பச்சை மயில் வாகனனே,
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா,
சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா, சிவபால சுப்பிரமணியனே வா.
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உன்மேலே வைத்தேன்,
என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உன்மேலே வைத்தேன், என் இச்சையெல்லாம் உன் மேலே வைத்தேன்.
எல்லளவும் ஐயமில்லையே
எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே, எள்ளளவும் ஐயமில்லையே.
வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரஹரோஹர. நெக்ஸ்ட் யார்?
Next we'll have Nikhil. Repeat after Mama. Ram Ram.
Okay.
Shyam,
Ram
கொஞ்சம்
Ram.
English text காமிச்சிடுங்க. Ram Ram. நிறைய.
சிவாய பரமேஸ்வராய சந்திரசேகராய நமோ.
शिवाय परमेश्वराय चन्द्रशेखराय नमो. शिवाय परमेश्वराय शशि चन्द्रशेखराय नमो.
பவாய குணசம்பவாய
भवाय गुणसम्भवाय, भवाय गुणसम्भवाय
நம சிவ தாண்டவாய நமோ.
नमः शिवताण्डवाय नमो. नमः शिवताण्डवाय नमो.
ஈஸ்வராய பரமேஸ்வராய
ईश्वराय परमेश्वराय, ईश्वराय परमेश्वराय
சர்வேஸ்வராய நமோ.
सर्वेश्वराय नमो. सर्वेश्वराय नमो.
சிவாய பரமேஸ்வராய
शिवाय परमेश्वराय, शिवाय परमेश्वराय
சந்திரசேகராய நமோ.
चन्द्रशेखराय नमो. चन्द्रशेखराय नमो.
சிவ 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 சிவ
शिव 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 शिव
சிவ
शिव शिव
சிவாய நமோ.
शिवाय नमो. शिवाय नमो.
ஹர 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 ஹர
हर 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 हर
ஹராய நமோ.
हराय नमो. हराय नमो.
சிவாய நமோ. ஹராய நமோ.
शिवाय नमो. हराय नमो. शिवाय नमो. हराय नमो.
சிவாய நமோ. ஹராய நமோ.
शिवाय नमो. हराय नमो. शिवाय नमो. हराय नमो.
ஓம் நம சிவாய நமோ. ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நமோ.
ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमो. ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमो.
ஓம் நமோ ஹராய ஹராய நமோ.
ओम नमो हराय हराय नमो. ओम नमो हराय हराय नमो.
சிவாய நமோ. ஹராய நமோ.
शिवाय हर ओम हराय हर ओम.
சிவாய நமோ.
शिवाय नमो. शिवाय नमो.
ஹராய நமோ.
हराय नमो. हराय नमो.
சிவாய நமோ.
शिवाय नमो. शिवाय नमो.
ஹராய நமோ.
हराय नमो. हराय नमो.
சிவாய நமோ.
शिवाय नमो. शिवाय नमो.
ஹராய நமோ.
हराय नमो. हराय नमो.
Now I will say Shivaya Namo. You have to say Haraya Namo. Huh? शिवाय नमः ओम
हराय नमो
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 शिवाय परमेश्वराय
शिवाय परमेश्वराय शिवाय परमेश्वराय
चंद्रशेखराय नमः ओम
चंद्रशेखराय